dropping helicopters over there because we have now another hillside burning. It's sort of hard to place even where that is exactly. This black smoke that you are looking at right now comes from an area of Fredalba, and as devastating as this video looks, Colleen and Paul, brace yourself, because I got to show you this now that we just got into our van here, and wow, this is going to blow you away. This is Fredalba, or what is left of it. If we can roll that video right now, according to the photographers that took that video, we don't have it yet. So when you guys get it in there, please let me know. But according to the photographers that took that video, there is very little left from what they saw. Home after home burned to the ground. So now we are looking here again live in the situation, a flare-up that is threatening those homes here. And ever since this fire broke out, there have been homes in this fire's path. It is burning now.
Okay, I've been living in Los Angeles for 15, let's see now. I've been living in Los Angeles since 1990, and it's 2007, so it's been quite a few years now. But actually, the first time I was born here, so the first time I left Los Angeles, I was 19 years old, which was when I took my first trip actually out of the country into Mexico. And then what I did was I moved out of the United States, and when I was 22 years old, and then I came back to Los Angeles when I was 27, and was really planning on just passing through. And I left LA and went to San Francisco, lived there for a year, and then decided I was going to go back to Mexico. But when I was on my way to Mexico, I decided to just stay, and as usually happens, I got seduced by Los Angeles, because my relationship with Los Angeles, since I can remember, has always been a love-hate relationship. Why is it love and hate? Well, because there's many things I don't really like about Los Angeles, and then there's many things I do like. Well, first and foremost, from a long time ago, I never really liked the weather. I don't like hot weather, never liked it, will always hate it. And every time it gets to be summer, when everybody from back east who lives here is so happy, I'm miserable. And so always in my back of my mind, there's this idea of escaping permanently, never having to come back to live anywhere like Los Angeles, or the hot climates like this that are unbearably hot weather, high temperatures, and high humidity now, because our global warming condition has now made this city a much more humid place to live. So the other thing about Los Angeles is how back a long time ago when I was growing up, I hated the smog. The smog is not as, in my mind, isn't as bad as it used to be, but it kind of added to a certain kind of level of depression that the city carries, which I think has gotten worse in some ways, because it's not only now polluted, but it's also very crowded, and it's gotten so crowded, it's very claustrophobic, and the city has changed radically from when I was growing up, because as a child, I remember it being almost kind of, Los Angeles was kind of like a old Wild West town. It was like on the frontier. It had still elements of kind of rural areas, like for example, Orange County was, all orange groves, and the part of the city I was born in, which is Bunker Hill, was flanked on some hills by, on one side by hills that were kind of like feeling like I felt like I was in the country sometimes. I could escape and see greenery. And that's the thing about Los Angeles a lot of people don't realize, is that it really is not like a real urban metropolis like everybody paints it. It's really actually a city with lots of greenery and lots of lush gardens and hilly areas, and areas that have really beautiful flower gardens and palm trees everywhere. This is the part of LA that's not represented really correctly by media, by a lot of things, because people also who come from out of Los Angeles have this misconception about LA being like, people make comments like saying, oh, it's very urban, it's very congested, it's very polluted, but they miss out on this whole other thing that LA has, which is, that it is like really like almost like a living environment with lots of a side that's very green, that kind of contradicts the concrete jungle myth about Los Angeles.